This has to be one of the most bizarre years I can ever remember in the video game industry, and I've been covering the video game industry for a long time. Even before I started doing YouTube, I was writing articles for a few different sites talking about the video game world and things like that, and now it just seems to me like it's almost total chaos, like everything that's going on, and it's things that are unprecedented, bizarre things. We've never seen these type of things happen before. A lot of this is having to do with the fact that, obviously we're going to be able to, go out there and see these companies buy things. I've been saying this for a long time. We all joke about the console wars and, how it's, console war on, and I get the joke there, and mostly it's hyperbole and jokes when I'm doing that, but to be honest with you, console wars are over, and they were trending that way for a long time. Now we're into the content wars, and I've mentioned this numerous times as well. This is why these companies, Microsoft, Sony, they're buying, even these other companies, Amazon, whoever, Meta, they're buying studios because we're into the content war part of this whole thing, right? With games pretty much everywhere. Right, like it's hard to really kind of go, oh well, there's an exclusive. Exclusives used to be back in the day. If you had a Sega Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog was exclusive. If you had a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Mario was exclusive. That's an exclusive, right? We all kind of bust balls and chops and things about exclusives, but let's just be real. These games are on, if it's a quote-unquote Xbox exclusive, it's on Xbox, it's on PC, it's on, a tablet, a phone, a TV, right? That's not exactly exclusive. Same thing with PlayStation. Pretty much all their stuff's going to end up on PC. They're also going that way with, the mobile and all that kind of stuff, so you'll be able to play there. So, yeah, is it really even exclusive per se? I happen to think that console exclusives are still important because there's people out there that are going to be able to that like consoles, right? Like I spend so much money on consoles, it's not an issue of, oh, could you afford the top of the line PC? Oh, sure as hell I could. I have a pretty decent one, but I don't play video games on it. It's like it's up by my desk, and it's just I don't want to do that. I like gaming, put in the game or whatever, and you're good to go. Not only that, but I can doubt, and this isn't me bragging. I know a lot of people think, oh, he's bragging. It's not a brag. If somebody had, 1,200 games installed on their console, they're not going to give that up and switch to a different platform, right? It's just not happening. And even PlayStation, I've got over 500 games installed on that too. So it's not what you guys think, you know what I mean? But I do want to get into this because it looks like Microsoft spoiled something that Sony was probably going to announce. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Always happy as hell to be here and talk to you guys about the video game industry and things like that. Again, please hit that like button. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos. I know it's a very small goal, but it's one nonetheless. Now, Microsoft, there's a lot of this stuff that leaks out. Claims that Insomniac's Wolverine game is going to be released in 2023. It was announced last year as being in early development. But again, think about this. That KOTOR game was announced as early development as well, but was actually supposed to release this holiday before it got, revealed that it was falling behind and they had to switch developers and stuff like that. But the game was announced during PlayStation Showcase event in September of 2021, as was Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. While Spider-Man was announced as coming to PS5 in 2023, a Target Insomniac has reiterated the studio said Wolverine was very early in development and no launch window was provided. As spotted by somebody recently, though, Microsoft's claim that the game will be released in 2023 was made in a regulatory finding, and this was made with a filing published by the UK Competition and Markets Authority, which is currently scrutinizing the company's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Discussing Sony's market position, Microsoft claimed Sony also has a spat of first and third-party exclusive titles lined up for launch in 2023, including Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Horizon, Final Fantasy 16, and Forspoken. Whether the company has inside information on Sony's release plans or the claim was simply a mistake isn't clear, but VGC has contacted PlayStation for comment on the game's status. Announcing the Wolverine game last year, Insomniac's head of franchise strategy and relations, Ryan Schneider, said, and I quote, "In the vein of our Spider-Man games, our goal here is to not only respect the DNA of what makes the character so popular, but also to look for opportunities to make it feel fresh and truly reflect the Insomniac spirit." Now, even though Marvel's Wolverine is very early in development from what we've seen, it's an emotional narrative, cutting-edge gameplay, and the team is already creating something truly special. Now, earlier in this year, we saw that what was very interesting because they were already doing motion capture and stuff like that. So again, I probably think from the looks of it, it probably seems more like Microsoft was just kind of lumping things in. I doubt that Wolverine is coming out next year. Like, how would they release Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine at the same time? But they do make a good point, and this was even before, by the way, the Silent Hill stuff. So the Silent Hill third-party stuff. Again, I can totally see why Sony did not do a showcase event, right? I can totally see why they didn't. You know, for me personally, I think that it makes sense because at the end of the day, Sony's out there saying that, oh, well, without Call of Duty, we can't make it. Although the Brazil regulatory board already said Sony's proven they can make it because they, you know, exclusives matter and they've come out with exclusives time and time again, etc., etc. Now, with that being said, it's funny to me because, you know, they're trying to hide the fact from the public view, and even with God of War launching in a matter of weeks, there's been no advertisements for it, right? They're not pushing it. There hasn't been a state of play strictly for that. It's like they're kind of ignoring the fact that they're paying for all these timed and you know, third-party exclusives and stuff like that, like Forspoken, Final Fantasy VII Part 2 remake, Final Fantasy 16. These are third-party stuff that they're paying for to keep exclusive, or at least exclusive for a time. The Silent Hill remakes, all exclusive at least for a year on PlayStation. So you got Sony saying, oh, well, we can't compete, blah, 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 exclusives don't do anything, and then, you know, they're buying exclusives left and right and exclusive content. So you can see how Microsoft would think a little bit differently than some of these other companies or whatever. So I find that to be super interesting because, again, if Microsoft, which I doubt they have the inside track because they mentioned Horizon, which actually launched this year, unless it's some kind of DLC or something along those lines. And, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, Microsoft and Sony are two companies that are going to continue to battle back and forth. I actually think that the fact that this company, that the UK Commission or whatever is asking for people's opinions, it really, and I did this in a video already, it means that they have no freaking clue what they're talking about in the video game industry or how the video game industry goes. So we'll see what happens. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what happens in the future with this. It should be a fun time for everybody. Like, I think next year is going to be the year that we thought this year is going to be, right? Like, when this year started up, we, you know, Starfield, you know, Redfall, we're gonna, you know, Suicide Squad, Lord of the Rings, Hogwarts, you know, there was all these games that we were gonna get, and all that stuff ended up getting delayed. I mean, there's still a couple of good games that came out and stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't think it was the year that we thought it was going to be, unfortunately. And I think next year is going to be that year. And I don't mean to jinx it or anything like that, but truly, it's one of those things that, you know, there's no way to really kind of about it to go, oh, well, you know, hopefully this kind of fixes itself or whatever. Like, I want to see Microsoft and Sony both compete and have great games for everybody, and it looks like we're getting close to that point. Let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.